New Mexico is joining the list of states that is broadening their abortion rights. The land of enchantment will go even further than the controversial bill that was passed here in New York by scrapping language from their current state law that states that if you administer drugs that destroy the fetus, as it's written, and that procedure is not a justified medical termination, you could be charged with criminal abortion. They want to take that language away. My next guest, author Daniel Ritchie, says when he was born without arms, his parents were told he was not viable. He wants you to know his story, though. Daniel, thank you very much. Good to have you with us tonight. I just want to replay for you what Governor Northam said, and then I want to hear what your parents were told in this moment. Watch this.
The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother. When you were born, a discussion ensued between the doctor and your parents. What did the doctor say to them?
Yeah, so when I was born without arms, I wasn't breathing and had no vitals. And so the doctor's first question to my parents was, do you want us to let him go? Because, you know, in his eyes, he didn't consider my life a viable life, much less a life worth living. And I'm super thankful that my parents chose to have me resuscitated. And
that's like the saddest question imaginable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you want us? And your parents obviously said no.
Right, yeah.
It was hard for you growing up.
Yeah, I mean, I think that when you're the only person that has to eat with their feet, write with their feet, do everyday normal tasks like everybody else does with their hands, you feel a little bit like an oddball. And so I think I compared myself to other people and definitely felt like I didn't measure up and that I wasn't as good as everybody else that had two arms.
What message do you have for these states that are making it easier to terminate a pregnancy when a child is not deemed to be viable? Because you are clearly viable. You're married, you have two children. What would you say to them while they're considering these laws?
Yeah, I think that was a lot of the language in what we see here in New York and what we saw in the legislation in Virginia, where severe abnormalities or birth defects are justifiable reasons for late-term abortions, when doctors truly do not know what the long-term prospect is for a lot of these kids, man. Like, I was considered to never write, never eat, never graduate high school, never live on my own. And here I am, 34 years later, man, enjoying being a dad, enjoying being a speaker and a pastor. So I think that we start to step into dangerous territory when we start to think how valuable a child's life will be based on what they have or don't have.
You can't know. And you talk about a moment that happened when you were 15. Mm-hmm. That's a tough age for most kids.
Right.
But tell me what happened that changed your life at 15.
Yeah, it was trusting Jesus as my Lord. It was knowing that even in my weakest moment, even in the fact that I'm completely different than everybody else, that God had a plan, that God still loved me, even though I had two empty sleeves, and that he gave me something a whole lot better than two arms. He gave me his son, to give me hope in this life and salvation in the next, and to trust in that and rest in that. It changed my life from 15 until now. I think that's the reason why I am where I am today.
What do your kids say about it?
They think it's pretty cool. When Dad can eat with his feet and drive a car with his feet, they think it's pretty cool.
Daniel, good to have you here. And you're speaking all around the country, and you clearly have a message for these states.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. Daniel Ritchie, a testament to saying yes, which your parents did. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Honor to meet you. Thanks for being here.